Well, hello there, humans, bees, earthlings, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it. So today's going to be a bit of a different twist on a video. This is the FV4202. I'm going to show you the 4202 and the T62A, and these are going to be really in-depth tactical breakdowns on very, very specific micro situations within the game. And I've chosen this video in particular. It's not because it's a massive game. It's because there's a very particular problem you come to when you are playing a map like Himmelsdorf and you're playing it in a tank like the FV4202. Now I'm going to fast forward this. Hang on. Here we go. Let's go. Let's have a look. So you can see here, this is Himmelsdorf. It's a corridor fight. Now the corridor fights are great for tanks like Mouses or even tanks like E75s and, you know, certainly heavier tanks, IS4s, IS7s. They love it. And big TDs like 183s and the Jaegeroos, all these kind of big boppers, they love to hang out behind the heavy tanks, be completely unspotted, and then have a clear shot down a corridor. So when you cross a corridor, like if you watch back here, you'll see this area here, basically where I am crossing over this corridor here, right there. That's the kind of spot where you can get in trouble. There'll be a TD down the other end of it, and they'll fire straight down. So what you've got to really be good at in these situations is situational awareness. Now, that means both using the mini-map, counting tanks, and having an idea on the kind of scenarios that your enemies are likely to undertake, and making good decisions on hit point trades and such. Now you can see I'm backing that up there completely, and I'm waiting until my camouflage drops. There are a couple of tanks that aren't spotted on the map at the moment, namely both, there's a 183 that's not spotted, which is a big deal. That's a very, very big deal. And there's two medium tanks. So you can see we've got one medium tank just popped there. That's over there on the right, that's the STB, and there's the T54. So we know there's an E5 and a 54 here. I'm off the map. Now, that means I've dropped camouflage. So if anyone is looking up here on the mini-map, you won't be able to see me if you're in a red team. I won't be popped. So I've got the opportunity now to move up to the left-hand side of this SU-12254 and clear this T54. The tank we're really worried about, which hasn't popped yet, is the, whoopsie daisy, turn that off, is the 183. So you're going to see, I'm going to push up. I'm going to look to get shots in on the 54. I'm going to try and do it from cover, so I'm still not spotted. Okay, I'm going to try and track this 54 here in place, because the SU-12254, I know he has insane DPM. Like, that is one of the biggest damage output tanks in the entire game. I know that's crazy. It doesn't look like it, but it really is. It's got one of the highest DPM numbers in the game, damage per minute. And then we've isolated this T110E5. We still haven't seen the 183. And this is one of the reasons why I often say that the 183 is such a detriment to the game, because it creates a situation where a normal average player, I'm not saying that I'm special, I'm just saying that I've played a lot of games, so I've got a lot of experience, doesn't really, once you get bitten, you don't want to poke again. Once you get smashed by a 183 for nearly all your hit points in a tier 10 match, and you know there's a 183 out there, you start looking for them. And it stops people from being aggressive or dynamic. Now, I'm going to push up with this SU-12254, because if you look at the mini-map, you can see we've now got these two guys here. How can I do this? These two guys over here, I'll show you. These two guys over here on the red team, you can see there, they are actually isolated. Between them and, let's go down here, between them and us, it's not going to work, is it? Never mind. Between them and us, there is a whole lot of rail cars and such. So they won't be able to see us, which is tough for them, but it's great for us. It means that this E5 here is isolated. They've already lost one tank. There are 4 tanks spotted, so that's 5 tanks. The 183 is missing. That's 6 tanks. And we're missing one other tank. We're just going to take a guess here that that E5 is isolated on his own, which is wrong. I mean, that's fair enough. But you'll see, I'm looking, and I've got my head on a swivel. As I come out here, I am looking for that 183. That's what I'm really worried about. And all of a sudden, there he is. He pops. So straight away, okay, my prime aim here now is not to get hit by that 183. And I want to combine that with the idea of clearing this E5. So to do that, I need to get hard cover. There's no way around this. If you're near a red tank, you're going to be proximity spotted. So you're going to be seen on the minimap. Every single tank in the red team is now on the minimap. Their STB has moved all the way down south of the flag. The 183 has been sitting at the back doing what 183s do, which is just basically intimidate teams and take shots unspotted. Like, if you're spotted, your fault. And I have to take evasive action here. But what I'm going to do is drive into the front of the E5. Now, this is the lesser of two evils. If I drive in front of the E5, he's going to get shots at me. Well, that's a 400 alpha shot. If I drive in front of the 183, he's going to get shots at me. That's a 900 alpha shot. It's not really a tough decision. In fact, with a 183 and Hesh, it could be a 1400 alpha shot quite easily. So we move directly in front of this E5, and we still... This is something else that a lot of players don't realise. You know, when people drive into you, they are quite often using you as cover. But I am leaving enough space here so that if anyone wants to hit this E5, they are going to be able to get his lower glacis quite easily, and won't be a problem for them. But the 183 now cannot hit me, so he's completely foiled at the back there. And all the while this is going on, we've got an SU-122-54 who has gone hog wild, has taken a shot for 974 from the 183, and now the 183 is fired. Now, a 183 fires about once every 20 seconds. That means between 510 and 450, I have free reign over here. But you can see on the minimap there are two heavy tanks. There's an E100, there's an IS-7, there's an IS-8. They are all down there to my southeast. They are right of screen at the moment, in the right direction. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful. Now, just like I was watching for the 183 previously to see where he was, I am now going to be watching for where those heavy tanks are. And they're going to be watching for me. I'm going to fast forward this. Bad roll on Hesh. Got a little bit of the space dump. There he is. I'm looking for those tanks over there. And I can hit once. Okay? Now, fair enough. I copped one. I was willing to cop one because this is a good trade for me. If we clear this 183, then everyone else on our team who is under 1,000 hit points is no longer a one-shot. I mean, that's the ridiculousness of that gun. Like, it can turn a 1,000 hit point tank, which is, you know, once you get to 55, 60%, if you're in a tier 10 medium, you can be killed. They then have free reign to move about. So it's very, very important to take this gun out. But at the same time, I don't want to give that E100 any more free shots. So I back up under the 183. I know the E100's got a 150mm gun. He should be just about reloaded by now. So I back up a little bit more. But if you saw that there, I didn't actually leave the 183 free to traverse backwards. What I did was I backed up just far enough so that my upper glacis and track and drive wheel were not visible any longer to the E100. But the 183 couldn't actually reverse. Watch. I'm still stopping it. But I'm just not putting myself in big strife from the other side. And then again, we're behind this. The E100 still wants a piece. It's not available. We pop out, get our shot in the STB, and we move around here and get a nice overlook on the E100 and put a couple of shots in. Now, that wasn't an amazing damage game. I think we did 2100, 2200 damage. But these are the kind of corridor fights that you're going to get into when you're in a medium. And they're corridor fights that can be very detrimental to your health. And you'll see the guys that generally do pretty well in them are people that can track multiple targets at once. We're going to move this along. I'm going to show you a game in the T62A. And this is one of my favorite spots on the whole of Rockfield. And it's actually playing a non-gun depression tank, like the 62A, which has 5 degrees of gun depression, but an insane gun, massive DPM, and a fairly solid turret. To go with great mobility and amazing camouflage, we cop a cheeky one. Oh no, it's another game, sorry. At the front line. So I'm going to front line this tank. This is going to be very interesting for you. And it speaks to two things here. And I don't mean to blow my own trumpet here when I say it's going to be very interesting for you. It speaks to two things. One is patience. A lot of people lose their minds after 30 seconds. And you'll see the idiots on teams will go, move, and all this, and it's like 5 minutes 50 to go in the game. Like 15% of the game is gone, and they're losing their mind because the enemy team is not yet cleared. This E50 is trying to do the same thing as I am, but he's being a little less patient. He's going to eat a shot. I'm going to let him think I'm driving away, and then I'm going to track him. Stick him up there. No one else is there to take advantage of it, but we get a free shot on him. I don't know if that's going to work 2 times in a row, but our IS-7 on the right is pushing through, and our E4, the Air E4 is over there. And all I'm doing here, if you can see this, the layout of this map, you'll see that at the moment, there's a bunch of tanks unspotted from the red team. So we're not certain where they all are. But what I am certain of, if I can keep these guys turret turning, what I mean by that is every time I push up top, you'll see that they will turn their turrets towards me in anticipation of me breaching that hill and giving them a shot. Here I go. I'm moving up. E50 looks at me. Can't support the E4. They go back. Look across. Back off. I move up. E4 has to swing towards me. E4 has to swing towards me. Now he just makes up his mind he's going to go there. E50 is looking at me. They're now looking both up. We clear across because he's just fired. Donk one into the side of the tracks, no problems. But you can see he's now straight away, and the E50 is like, man, this is not a good thing. I'm in a really bad spot. But it's too late by then. Do you know how long this has taken? 2 minutes. You were in tanks. Like some of these, this is something that kills me. Hey, like, I'll just let that play while I talk. You can see me just jerking back and forward, killing their rhythm. You're in tanks here that can do 3,000 and more DPM per minute. So if you get 30 seconds on a target, you can do 1,500 damage, no problems at all. People lose their minds about the time it takes to get to here sometimes. Like, what are you doing? I can't believe it. What are you guys doing? And 2 minutes has gone in the entire game. And then you finally get time on target. And being patient, you can see also the angle. Could we talk about that angle? The 62A's angle. Look at that tank. 62A is a really good upper glacis, okay? Excellent upper glacis. If you angle it up severely like this and come around that corner so that all they get is that angle there, that is going to be pretty much an auto bounce zone 90% of the time. And you can see I've got it angled up. Absolutely perfect. No problems whatsoever. That's the angle you're looking for. And this thing's a Viper. It's just a ridiculous gun on a ridiculous tank. And so now we have a numbers advantage, and we're going to start working that numbers advantage to actually get shots in and start stat padding, for lack of a better term. Here comes the E100. We get a very good bounce there. I'd like to point out, though, this is what you're looking at. I mean, the dogs are going nuts outside. Excellent. This is what you're looking at. RNGesus, this poor E100. You can see my tank is dead flat onto him. Absolutely dead flat on. The dispersion, I actually get hit. It's pretty funny in the track. Like, I don't know how that gets hit in the track, but like that's the game for you. That's RNG. I mean, there's no way around it. And then you've just got mad DPM. This E100 is going to eat shots. There's no way around it. He's in strife. Watch this shot as we duck. Let the gun drop onto the top hatch. Pull back. The gun on this thing is bizarre. And then we're looking again, head on a swivel. And this is where the same kind of skill set that you use to play on Himmelsdorf, where things are all about watching tanks and where things are going, allows you to stat pad like a monster, because you see the best situations for you to find damage. And there's an IS-7 on his back to me. I can easily get over there before the E100 and everything else and just pump. I'm just pumping damage. It's like not even close. The E100 derps a shot in the back. Another one that's 1, 2, and can we get the kill? Nah, someone else takes it. Bad luck. IS-7 grabs that. And then we're on and around back into the remaining 54E1 and the E100, and we're not even stopping. And that's that tight stuff that I talked about before. You don't always have to be putting damage in on the reload. You don't always have to be doing things as soon as a shot's available. We're going to get past this E100 before we can get the gun to bear. And we're going to cruise around here, blow a shot in the T54E1, but get it done eventually. Yeah, good work, Bushka. You can hit those crazy shots, but that one, not so much. Reverse. Where's our E100, mate? He really wants to put one into me. He's had enough of this crap. And he finally gets one in there. Try and track him, no good. But if you take your time, you're patient, and you pay attention to where the enemy is, you can end up doing fantastic things. And there's that just blocking off a little bit of traverse again, like I did on that 183, instead of being fully visible. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm trying to do a little bit of something different on the channel rather than just the tactical, the normal reviews and everything. Showing you a bit of the tactical side of things, talking you through some games where interesting stuff happens. You can see I've changed my name on Asia to RNGesus Drives a KV2. Yeah, look after yourselves, boys and girls. Remember to subscribe, like the video, stick around. There's live streams all the time, 3 times a week. And as always, stay safe out there on the battlefield. Bye for now.